Hello lovelies. My name is Joanna from Mojo Stitches, and this is my stitchy channel where we normally talk about happy stitchy things and not international trade law. But considering the current situation, last week I had to talk about international trade law. Thank you so much for everybody who said a kind word and sent support, and it really means more than I could say. I'm feeling much more, well, slightly more hopeful than last week, but profoundly grateful. Still heartbroken, but really, really angry as well. And I just tend to laugh a lot when I get angry, so this should hopefully be more of a cheerful video. I have a quick update about Marketplace and the tariffs. We'll get through that as quickly as possible, and then I have happy stitchy things to talk about, so please bear with me. Again, I'm really sorry if I distressed anybody with my last video. That was never my intention. I'm not very good at hiding things. I just kind of am who I am, and I couldn't talk about these new things without getting emotional, because that's just who I am. It's a really, really big deal for me. So thank you for those of you who sent your support. It honestly means more than I can say, and I'm not going to talk about that anymore. I'll start crying again, and we really don't want this to be a habit. So quick update, Marketplace. The reason why it's been a little longer to get back to you than I first intended was because I've been working on a solution to get the new releases to everybody for Marketplace. For shops outside of the US, they are all already in the post, and I wanted to thank A Stitch in Time in Hobart, Australia, the Stitches Merchant in Glen Innes in Australia, and Rural Stitch Co in South Australia for your incredible support of Australian designers. They're the Australian stores that are they're on the way. That crafty Kiwi in New Zealand, big thank you to Helen there. And to two stores in the Netherlands, Atelier Soirée and Die Handwerk Boutique, and I have massacred those pronunciations. Forgive me. I will put it all down below so you can see. There may be another store in Canada coming as well, but they're the ones outside the US at the moment. They're already winging their way to you guys. 4 stores inside the US. This has been quite a process. Let me tell you a story. The lady who runs Needlework Marketplace is called Bobby. She runs a store called Stitching Bits and Bobs, and she has really gone out of her way to support the international designers and suppliers while all of this was happening right at such an important time for all of us. And she very kindly allowed me to send her some stock of the new releases early, so they got in before the tariffs and all the craziness that's going on, and she is going to drop ship them to the US stores from her, which is incredibly generous of her. That's just a one-off thing for Marketplace, but that at least means that I've been able to get the Marketplace releases there. So I was able to contact the shops and let them know that any of you who put a pre-order in, I thank you. You will get them. I'm just about to send the final list to Bobby, and she will get those in the post as soon as she can. Again, I will put a list down below of all the stores who ordered from me, so that you can find them if you're looking. I'll also put that up on my blog as well. Please be aware that most of the stores ordered like 2, 3, 4 charts max, so they're very, very small orders. Grateful for all of them, no complaints. But so if you're looking for one in particular, just keep going down through the list. You'll find somebody who has them, I hope. Or Google the name of the pattern, Mojo Stitches, and see who comes up as having it listed on their website. Bobby will have some as well. I'm throwing a bunch of extras for her, so she will have some too. Now, and I wanted to thank you as well, because the vast majority of those orders only happened because you asked for a pattern. And yeah, a lot of the stores that have supported me in the past decided not to this time. And look, that can be for lots of different reasons, and these are hard times, I understand. But I wanted you to know what a difference that has made to me. I haven't done the numbers yet, but I've covered my costs at least, and I'm not going to starve to death next month. So thank you. But I forgot to tell you the funny bit of the story. Oh. Anyway, Bobby said, yes, we could, she's letting me send them to you. So I ran around like a mad thing trying to get all the covers back from the printer, printing up the bits I do myself, lots of stuffing and packaging. And I normally try to do that just a little bit at a time because I'm a sick old thing. It takes its time. Anyway, so doing all this stuff, trying to get them ready. And I was hearing all these horrendous stories of packages being refused at US customs even when they're labelled correctly, and like anecdotal stories, but enough to make you like worry. So what I did is I packed up 2 boxes and sent them with an eye-watering amount of express post shipping. Like, oh! Anyway, I was really worried one of them would get lost or refused or something, so I sent 2 off. And that was the most nerve-wracking shipping I've ever done in my life. I waited on tenterhooks till I got a message from Bobby the other day going, they're here! I'm so relieved, I cannot begin to tell you. Anyway, so I was able to get them to you. Now, again, I am profoundly grateful. It's still a very big loss to what I would normally expect, but I am so very grateful. And yeah, I'm having lots of conversations with other designers and shops and suppliers about ways that we can support each other and navigate how to keep doing what we love, and to be able to provide you with things that support your creativity and things. So just know that there is a lot going on behind the scenes, and you know, with what's happened through Marketplace, at least I have a little bit of time to be able to work out what to do going forward. Now, with the tariff update, really hope this isn't a ongoing series, tariff update. It looks like what I got in for Marketplace will be the last shipment to the US for some time. Just when you think it couldn't get any worse. Yeah. In case you weren't aware, because I found it hard, it's barely covered here, let alone, and I haven't seen it in any American media at all. Australia, New Zealand, India, Japan, South Korea, the UK, France, Germany, the Netherlands, Switzerland, most of Europe has stopped shipping altogether. Stopped shipping parcels into the US at all. I have never seen such a thing happen, and I feel quite justified in being emotional last week because, you know, this is a big deal, and what the current US government is expecting of the rest of the world to comply with these new, really very unfair demands, which I'll explain in a moment, is completely not a normal way that countries trade, which is kind of like the oldest human activity, is to grow things and trade. Anyway, so temporarily at least, 3/4 of the world is no longer shipping parcels to the US. That didn't happen during COVID. Shipping still continued. So this is how disruptive this is. Partly this is happening in protest for the removal of the de minimis tariffs, de minimis exemption, and partly because the current US government has partially clarified what was happening with the tariffs. Again, I'll get through this as quickly as possible. Part of the problem that happened initially was the lack of clarity of what the government said and how this was going to happen, and by the way, it's happening at the end of the month, like ridiculous speed. Normally any changes like that, like this would have like a 2-year down the line, by the way, this will be happening in 2 years. That's what would be normal, not, next week. Anyway, we got a little bit of clarity the other day, if you can call it that, because one of the big confusions that, we had outside of the US, all these businesses, was how US customers were going to process collecting the tariffs and the unconscionable duties that they're putting on top as well. Because as far as we're aware, there was no system to collect that. So we were expecting enormous delays. In a move which I don't think anyone expected, the current US government has decided that they won't be collecting all of that they're expecting the rest of the world to pre-collect it for them and then submit it to them. So they expect our postal service, so when we send something, this is why everyone's had to stop shipping, because no one has a system that will do this. They expect us to charge you, it's still an import tax, you'll still be paying. They expect us to charge you the tariff and the extra duty, which I'll explain again in a minute, as part of our costs before we even send it overseas. So no postal system has the ability to do that. Currently, they're all working madly trying to work out what this will mean. And personally, I think it's a way of trying to hide from the American public that this is actually, that you guys are paying for it. And they're making it look like we're paying for it, which we aren't. So anyway, the other clarification that came through was the extra duties that they're putting on things. So there's the tariff, which for Australia is 10%. If that's all it was, I could manage that. We could work that out. That'd be fine. I've been planning for that for, over a year now. But these extra duties that they want to put on, they have clarified that for countries that have a duty of 15% or less, that includes Australia, they're going to put a flat $80 fee on every single parcel that comes in as well. So that means if you were to buy a couple of skeins of floss or a pattern from my Etsy store, I would have to charge you in the US, for you guys, like $100 shipping and to cover the tariff cost, because I would have to prepay that before they would accept it into the country. Now, that is not how you do business. That is not how normal people operate. In fact, it feels like you're operating with gangsters, to be perfectly honest. This is just not. Oh, and they want that done by Friday. which is why everyone stopped shipping. So we're still working out what this means. They may change their mind at any moment. It wouldn't surprise me. That'd be great. But yeah, this is really incredibly disruptive and incredibly distressing for small businesses all over the world. So I feel quite justified in getting a bit emotional. Anyway, so that means for the new releases, I won't be able to restock with shops because I physically can't ship you anything. And for distributors, normally shops who buy from me get them first, and then I send extra copies to the distributors, and shops who buy from them get them from them. I can't supply my distributors at this time. So that will be the last stock I can get into the US at the moment. Now, all these lovely conversations I'm having with other people, different designers and different businesses will be taking different approaches. Some designers will be moving all their printing and distribution into the US, so they will just print them there, and that will work really well for some people. Some designers do that already. I'm considering all options, but at the moment that doesn't look like a good option for me, for lots of reasons that I won't go into now. But yeah, I'm very hesitant to do that. Yeah, anyway. In the meantime, my patterns will be available to everybody outside of the US, and all the other products as well. And if you don't see your country on my shipping on Etsy, and of course all the local stores where you have them, if you don't see shipping, contact me and I'll add you to it. Shipping for the US at the moment is not an option, so it will be PDFs only at this time. PDFs are also not tariffed. For the new releases, the PDFs will be available in late October. As the system currently works now, shops who buy from me directly as wholesalers, they get to sell them first, and then I get to put them on Etsy 6 to 8 weeks later. So that's when the PDFs will be available. That may have to change as well. We'll see. But yeah, I'm so grateful that those of you who put a pre-order in will be able to get what you want. And I don't normally like to ask for help, but I would ask if there is a pattern that you receive and you like and you stitch it, please do share pictures of it on socials, as I know that you do, because yeah, my visibility is, as shops won't be stocking me for a while, my visibility kind of goes down. So that would be a really, really big help. Thank you. Anyway, I also wanted to thank those of you, my Etsy customers in the US, who got in an order before all of this happened. Again, I don't normally like to put time pressure on anybody for ordering things. There's all these different marketing techniques that people use to try to pressure people to buy things. I don't use any of them. That was literally just because that was the last time I was able to ship. So I don't like to use those kind of pressure tactics at all. And please, I wasn't doing that. I feel terrible if I thought people thought that, because I wasn't. I just got a message this morning that I believe the last package I was tracking has actually got there. So thank heavens, that's a big relief. And thank you again, everybody, for your kindness and support. Yeah. Aside from all that going on, which I feel like I need a good lie down after just talking about it, let alone going through it. yeah, it's been a lot. It's been really stressful. The stress is not good for my health, so it's been a lot, but I've been incredibly buoyed by everybody's kindness and support. And I may not be a competitive person, I am not an aggressive person, but I'm a very determined person. And if there is any way through this, I will find it. So stay tuned. Anyway, some nice things were happening during all of this as well. I was contacted by a couple of you lovely guys who found my new pattern in Just Cross Stitch magazine. I mentioned last time I was like wondering where it was because I thought it was meant to be August, and a couple of you went, "Oh, I found it." So yes, I was hoping to get some physical copies in to Australia because it's not a magazine I've ever seen here, even though it's a really, really big magazine in the US. But with everything going on, I just couldn't do it. So it is available digitally. I know there's lots of apps through which you can buy magazines, and I believe even a lot of library apps allow you to access some magazines. So it is the current version of Just Cross Stitch. And let me show you a picture because I was contacted about a year ago by the editor, and a big thank you to Katie from Cottage Garden Threads because she helped connect us. And yeah, they invited me to do a piece for an ongoing series they have called Inspired by a Sampler, which is kind of, my kind of thing. So yeah, so it was lovely. They asked me to do a small design, quite small, and to write a little piece about it too, which was a lovely opportunity. I don't normally get to do that for magazines, so that was really fun. And so we stitched it and finalised it and everything, and I sent it off like, I think it was like December. So it's been a long time, and I'd forgotten what I called it. So when you guys were sending me pictures, I got to see what I remember what I called it, because it's this little design here of these two little birds, and I called it Hope is the Thing with Feathers. And it was like, oh, I needed some hope. So, yeah, I'm going to cry again. I know that's not great seeing it off a phone, but it's they still have the model, so they are sending that back to me with a physical copy of the magazine. So when that gets here, I'll show you on video. But yeah, this is this is Hope is the Thing with Feathers, and it's done. When they asked me to do a piece that was based on a sampler, me and my brain goes in a different direction, because I wanted to show how a lot of my inspiration not only comes from samplers, but from all types of stitching and embroidery, throughout the years. And so I took my inspiration from something a little different. Oh, just a quick little trigger warning. I'm going to be talking about motherhood and pregnancy and stuff for a bit. If you don't want to listen to that, nothing graphic, but if you don't want to listen to that, just skip ahead 5 minutes or so. Thanks. My inspiration I took from this beautiful little baby's bib that I found. It's got these beautiful little handmade tassels. Look at this. Isn't that lovely? Now, there's no date on this, but from the colour palette and the style, I'm thinking it's kind of 1920s, so it counts as an antique, maybe early 30s. But I was just so touched by the thought of somebody making this, either, for their own baby or for, for someone that they love. I'm not a mother myself, but I have made lots and lots of gifts for, expectant mothers that I know. And I was so touched by the creativity and the kindness in that small gesture. So I did my design kind of based on that, and to celebrate the wonderful stitcher who did this. And I've kept the same colour palette, and my one is done in the Bookshelf Cottage Garden threads, which I have on my Etsy store, and I'll have more stock up there as well. If you're in the US, there are lots of stores who are carrying them now, and lots of behind the scenes stuff is going on to make sure you can continue to get them. But there is a full DMC conversion as well. And it's also something that you can really customize to a different color palette if you like as well. I think it's only 3 colors. I think it's only three or 4. I think it's only 3. Like I said, it was like December. So it'd be really easy to customize to a different color palette. And on my little design, I finished the corners with little tassels to echo the tassels on the little bib. So I just finished it very simply. It was stitched on, I think it was Legacy Linen, one of the neutrals. But you could use anything you like for that. And again, make it the colours that you like. And I'm just really, I just thought this piece was so beautiful. And I was thinking of the kindness and the generosity of someone to stitch something so beautiful, and for such a utilitarian object that, some baby's going to throw up on. So I just thought that was lovely. Anyway, so if you need something to stitch while you're waiting for all your marketplace stuff to come in, that stitches up really fast. And it's in Just Cross Stitch now. And again, a big thank you to those of you who let me know that it was out, because I really needed that. So and speaking of interesting naming, I'm having a week of that. The thing I didn't get to talk about on my last video was my wrap up of the Stitching in the Mountains retreat that we had. Oh gosh, is it only like a month? I don't know if it's like a month or 6 weeks, but it's not all that long. We had our winter Stitching in the Mountains retreat in Blackheath again. I run these retreats with the wonderful Lisa from Paddock Lane Designs, and we had our latest retreat, and it was wonderful. Always such an incredible mix of really talented, kind, lovely people, lots of familiar faces and some new ones as well. And yes, we hole up in a guest house. A lot of us stay on site, and we just spend sort of 3 days stitching and having fun. And it was an absolute delight. So thank you so much for everybody who came. We run classes. We have, we had a new addition this time. The lovely Helen, thank you Helen, helped us organise some local masseuses to come in and give shoulder massages. And they were so popular that they'll be back next time, and I'm hoping I get a go next time. They were great too, because they gave us a lot of tips on, how to stretch and keep healthy in our marathon stitching sessions. So that was really fun. And we also had the most wonderful smalls exchange I've ever seen. I have a real thing about smalls exchanges being open and not intimidating for people, and I think we're getting close to really cracking how to do that. So I will have a video and a blog post coming soon about how to do that, how to participate, how to make it fun, because that's really what it should be. So this was the best one I've ever seen. I've never seen so many people participate, and the things everyone created was just incredible. We did it as a Christmas ornament because we had a traditional Christmas theme this time, and I was just so blown away by everybody. Thank you so much. I taught a class, Lisa. Yes, the goodie bags are kind of my domain for this. So let me show you some of the things that I put together for the goodie bags. Our goodie bags this time was a project bag in these wonderful recycled rice bags that I love so much. The company I get this from, this is like 94% recycled material, which is important to me. And they don't do a lot of this size anymore, so I was really thrilled when they put this one up. It wasn't strictly a Christmas theme, but we had to nab those when we could. I really love this. I think it's beautiful. So our goodie bag came in this time. And the other thing that didn't quite fit is I got some water bottles made. And that has a little design that might be a little bit familiar from some of my new releases, if you take a look at that. So good BPA free healthy water bottle, which everybody always needs. So in there we had 2 kits from Lisa this time. We kind of take turns. She did this lovely Christmas house, a full kit, and then pink baubles with a full kit with everything, which was great. And then my design this time was called Hexy Whirl, which is a Christmas ornament, or any kind of ornament really. And this is the finish here. And I did a finishing class about how to do the tassels, about how to put it together, how to finish it, and doing sort of things in different colour schemes and stuff. Now this is a pattern that will come out later. Actually started a series some time ago that I called Waste Not Want Not, which is about using scraps and things that you already have into making designs and gifts and stuff. So this is part of that series. And it was lovely to see a bunch of people stitch that up while they were there. Nice, quick, easy pattern. And yeah, just a lovely gift to be able to give people. So this is done on Lisa's beautiful fabric that she had in there in our goodie bags as well. Now, what else did I find in there? Oh, I don't think I've got everything here, but I got some pens made with our little logo, because you always need a pen. Oh, I found these lovely Christmas decorations with Australian flowers on them that made from upcycled wood. And I thought this one was beautiful. I love the colours on that. So that was a little Christmas thing. Oh, I had fun trying to find some Christmas lollies, like in the middle of the year, that were also gluten-free, because there's a lot of us there who are gluten-free. I did it. I was pretty proud of myself because that was tricky. Lisa had all of her wonderful, she runs these kind of like bingo games and stuff that run during the retreat, and she had all of that in there. I did up a set of my beautiful postcards that people can use. Now these are lovely to just put in with a gift, or you can even just pop them in a frame if you want to give like just a quick gift. I sort of do the postcards that has our logo on it. That's one of my Christmas designs from last time. Stitchy things. That has some nice stitchy things on them. Yes, so that was my set of postcards everybody got. Oh, there's another one in there too. I thought there was another one. That's a nice stitchy one too. So that was fun. And yeah, it's really fun to put those together. I'm working hard on the next one already. Speaking of the next one. Oh, before I forget, as always at the retreat, they were incredibly kind and generous people, and I wanted to thank everybody who were able to do that. I know I got some lovely floss drops from Adelaide Stitches, who's local to me, which is really nice, so thank you so much for that. That's really sweet. Lovely Liz from Liz and Cats Creates. Gave us a zipper pull, which is beautiful. And personally, I got some really amazing gifts. Some of them I'm not going to show because I'll just cry again. And like, seriously, we can't make this a habit, but you guys know who you are. And big thank you as well to lovely Emma for giving me this beautiful stitching pouch with all sorts of lovely stitchy things in it. That's so my colour palette. It's not funny. And we also had there as an additional vendor the lovely Alex from Little Cozy Props. She's on Etsy. I will link her stuff below. She gave me this project bag. Being the bird lady, come on. Come on. And I bought a couple of her smaller size ones, which I really love. They fit my patterns perfectly. And yes, so you might see them in some social media photos coming up. So yes, Alex is lovely, and it was really great to have her there. Now, I'm hoping I haven't forgotten anybody major through that. Oh, it was so busy on the weekend. I didn't even get a chance to get down and see Lisa's shop and get some of her lovely fabrics. So, but I will be seeing her this weekend because things, talking about retreats, I'm going to the Daisy Chain Stitches retreat this weekend, which has been so nice to look forward to through all of this stress. That's run by Teresa at Daisy Chain Stitchery, and she asked me to do the designer piece this time, so you'll all get a kit from me, and I'll be running a finishing class as well. So I'm so looking forward to that. Today and tomorrow I'm busily packing, getting all of that ready to go. And a long drive Friday morning, and big thank you to Heather for helping me get there. Now, speaking of retreats, our next Stitching in the Mountains retreat, it's funny, we had the theme already picked out because there was something I've been working on and planning I wanted to do that was going to come out then, and then Lisa, anyway, we put it off, but plans are changing, let me tell you. Some things I've had in the works for a while will be coming out soon because of this. Anyway, theme for the Stitching in the Mountains retreat. I won't tell you too much about it, but I was having trouble thinking of like what to name it. Like, we know what it is, but what to give it a nice, neat, easy, lovely name so that we could tease people. And then as life changes sometimes, it turned out that we have a new venue for the retreat. We've really loved where we've been, but we have a new venue called the Metropole Guest House, which is in Katoomba, which is a couple of villages down the mountain from where we were. Very close to a lot of the most beautiful scenic areas in the mountains. Now, Lisa and I had a lovely day traveling around looking at different venues to find the best one. And we think we have. We toured around a couple. Oh, and let me tell you, it makes a difference when you go in person compared to looking at them online, because there was one, which shall not be named, which looked perfect online, and we thought, oh great, this looks great, it's historic, it's got lots of room. We went there, we walked in the door, stank of mildew, the whole place. So we're like, we ain't going there. It's terrible. Anyway, we have toured the Metropole and it's wonderful. Yes, this is an Art Deco guest house that was built in, I think, the 1920s. I don't have the date. I'll have to check. Art Deco it would be. Anyway, beautiful old building that I've always been past in Katoomba, and I've never been inside. And we went to go have a look. We were met by the staff, who were incredible and so helpful and so excited to have you all there. So yeah, I will be having more videos and more posts about that coming up, but I will also link below to my blog where the expression of interest form link is. So if you would like to come and join us for the next summer one, which is the first weekend in December, please do. Also keep in mind that it's really worthwhile being on the wait list as well, because we always have people that for, life reasons, closer to the time aren't able to come, and we'd really love to have you. Now, the new venue will mean that some things change, but we're gonna keep it as much the same as possible, because we really love what we've created with you guys. Yes, the benefit of moving it to the Metropole is they have much more accommodation. We're still keeping the same numbers because we'd still like to keep it small and relaxed and intimate, but more people will be able to stay on site, and the accommodations are, there's less variation between them, so everybody kind of gets the same wonderful, super clean, really schmick. They've just done a wonderful new update, and there's it's still an old historic building that has all these beautiful historic touches that I can't wait to explore more. We're going back to visit in October, and I can't wait to see a little bit more. Now, yes, so the accommodation is fantastic. It allows more people to stay with us, and also the accessibility is an improvement. It's not 100%. I have been searching high and low to find a venue that is completely wheelchair accessible, and we have not been able to do that, and I'm really frustrated about that. The only place I've found in the mountains that is fully wheelchair accessible, and I know this is appalling, is a venue that is so far out of our price range, it's just not even funny. So once you're in the Metropole, it is much more accessible. There is a lift there, so again, we will double check everything when we go, again back in October, but there are a couple of steps to get into the building. We will work with the Metropole on whatever we can do, but at this stage there are steps to get into the building. Once you're in there, it's much more accessible though. So I apologize. I'm doing everything I can, because this is this historic area. There's lots of old buildings that just weren't built with these kind of accommodations. We're working on it, but there are a lot of wonderful things about the Metropole that we're hoping it's our new home. We're trialing this one and seeing how it's going, but so far we've had such a great reception, and just going there and kind of getting the vibe. I always get a great sense that you're working with good people when you go there, and the cleaner and the assistant general manager are having a laugh, and you can tell there's really mutual respect there. For me, that's always a good sign. So it's beautiful. You walk in through these stained glass windows, and immediately on your right is the big dining room, which is kind of wood panelled and, soft lighting and stained glass windows, and that's where we're going to have the stitching room. Now, as this is used as a dining room as well, the stitching room will be available between 10 and 5. But there are also lots of other rooms, like there's a little library and a games room and all these sort of places. So before and after that time, you'll still be able to stitch. We'll have like little breakout rooms and things for everybody. Now, going forward, we're just going to book the whole place. This time there was one room taken already, so those poor people are going to be stuck with all of us, so we'll have to be extra nice to them. And the Metropole have been incredibly generous and supportive, and what they're doing is they're giving us a really good deal and including breakfast with that. So you'll get breakfast if you stay with us, and they're also giving us an optional supper, so nice light food like soup and toasted sandwiches and things that you can add on as an extra when you book with Lisa. I really encourage you to take that up because they're giving us a very good value with all of that, and it saves you having to go out and forage, and it will be accessible for all the dietary requirements and everything. So yes, I'm expecting I'll be spending a lot of time up in the little library room up the top. There's also this beautiful spot where like what used to be the outside of two buildings has been roofed over with glass, so there's this big open kind of terrace. It's just gorgeous. So yeah, we're really excited to explore and to bring as much of the previous retreats to our new venue. And because of this all happened, I was sitting there one day and I realized our theme for the next retreat is a new chapter. So it's a little clue, but anyway, our theme is a new chapter, and we'd absolutely love you to come if you'd like to. Again, I'll leave the links to where you can fill out the expression of interest form. And yes, Lisa will be in touch. She does all the organising on that part, which is incredible of her. And it's nice to have that to look forward to as well with all of this stress going on. So at the moment, I'm getting through Marketplace. I have my last bit of paperwork to do with that. I have lots and lots of packing and organising to do for Daisy Chain this weekend. And then I'm looking forward to a well-earned collapse next week. Yeah. Again, thank you so much for your kindness and your support. It really means a great deal. And it's made me even more determined to work this out and not let the bullies win. So yeah, I will be back soon. I'll give you a retreat recap actually after Daisy Chain, and yeah, that'll be nice. Going forward, I would also love to be here a little bit more often. I may not be able to do a full Flosstube. I would love to do once a week, but that's a lot for me. And but perhaps once a fortnight I'll at least check in and say hi. I'd really value the relationships I have with Stitches and with you guys all over the world, and I'd really love to foster that in these difficult times. So I'll be back soon. Yeah, leave below other designers and shops and suppliers that you would love us to know about, so we know who to support through all of this. And take good care of yourselves. Yeah, you're good people. I'll see you soon. Bye.